What's up, Michigan State fans? This is Jacob Kotsnick here, back with another episode of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast, talking some more football with you guys today because we have gotten a lot of news on Thursday. This episode is going to go up on Friday, but we are recording this on Thursday afternoon for you guys today. I guess we'll kind of go in chronological order, both in the kind of the order the news dropped on Thursday morning and kind of how this is going to affect the future of Michigan State football moving forward. I guess first things first is that we now know MSU's game at Notre Dame in week 3 of the 2026 football season is going to be a night game, 7:30 p.m. Eastern kickoff time. Game is going to be on NBC and Peacock, as Notre Dame home games generally are under since they're independent, they have their own TV deal and everything. And hey, I mean Notre Dame is, I think it's the toughest game on the schedule this coming season. They're going to be a preseason, at least preseason top 5 team. There's some people who have Notre Dame at number 1 in their, again, very very early, like your post spring college football rankings going forward. Again, Marcus Freeman, they've won. I think they've won at least 9 games. All 4 of his seasons there. He's gotten them to a national championship game. Had them within striking. It wasn't that close against Ohio State in the title game, but they got to a national title game. They think at least, they were snubbed from the college football playoff last season. And, they're going to be a very hungry program moving forward. I can understand why they think they were snubbed because they were in the playoff for however many weeks the rankings were coming up beforehand. And while they were sitting at home, they went from in to out. So Miami also hopped them without playing. So I can understand that being frustrating if you were a Notre Dame fan. Staying at the bowl game, that's another thing. But hey, they're going to do what they're going to do. And if you want to just talk for a few minutes about this game, is MSU going to be a significant underdog? Of course they are. When I probably predict the game, I'm probably going to have Notre Dame winning by at least 3 possessions. I mean, that's kind of the way it is. I mean, that's what happens when you schedule Notre Dame. Notre Dame's pretty good usually. They're at least usually very respectable. Like, you know what you're getting into a little bit when you schedule Notre Dame. Maybe not so much like, say, if you're going to schedule Alabama, maybe not to that level, but Notre Dame being bad is pretty rare for the most part. They're not quite what they were in the 80s and the 90s, but hey, they're trying to get back. Marcus Freeman is still a very, very good coach. He's done very well at Notre Dame through a little bit there. And again, it's probably only going to get even easier, I think, for upper tier programs like Notre Dame to succeed, as money drives everything because of their independence, to succeed. And it's going to be easier than ever soon enough to get into the college football playoff, because it seems like we're eventually going to have 24 teams in the playoff soon, which I don't agree with. I don't agree with NCAA tournament expansion in basketball either, but this is the direction the sport is going, for better or worse, mostly worse. But if you are the optimist type, I mean, talk about a great opportunity though. Like, it's gonna be the first like real game of the Pat Fitzgerald era. Yes, you play Toledo week 1, yes, you play Eastern Michigan week 2, but it's just I kind of talk about this with basketball scheduling. You can't win those games really. You can go to 1-0, you can go to 2-0 on your record, but it's like, what changed really? What has moved the needle program wise? So like, you're playing Notre Dame on the road. Like, what if you what if you win? What if you have a close game even at Notre Dame? It's on national television. It's on NBC. It's on Peacock. Like, there's going to be millions of people watching that game because of the brand Notre Dame has. MSU fan base is plenty big. Like, people watch Notre Dame football. And what if you win? What if you have a close game and go toe to toe with a team that's going to be probably like ranked 4th or 5th in the country or something at that time? Like, that's a message. That's a message to recruits. That's a message to people around the country. It's like, recruiting, that's everyone these days. That's everyone. Even, you're not even tampering. You're talking to everyone who could be in the portal a year later. Like, hey, we're building something here. That's what the type of opportunity this game is going to provide for Pat Fitzgerald and Michigan State moving forward. It's also a rivalry. Technically, like, I don't think there's a, I don't know if I consider like a rivalry like Michigan, but there's a trophy here. There's a megaphone. If you can bring the megaphone back, like, the trophy case is bare right now. You don't have Paul right now. You don't have the old brass spittoon for Indiana. You don't have the land grant trophy with Penn State. You don't have the megaphone. It's the trophy case for all the rivalry trophies. you don't have anything. So that's the other thing. You gotta go get a trophy somewhere somehow. You don't play Indiana and you don't play Penn State next season either. So you get two big shots at it to go hoist something next season. And again, that's kind of the best way to maybe start the turnaround in East Lansing. But again, I'm not even asking really for a win. Just play a competitive game because Notre Dame. Again, CJ Carr probably going to be he's a preseason Heisman candidate. I think depending on where you look, if you're the betting kind, he might be the favorite. I'm not one of those people who does that, but uh, that's what people do these days. And again, CJ Carr, if you watch him, he's did really really well as a redshirt freshman. He could be an NFL draft pick next season. I think I have him behind. I ranked all 12 quarterbacks that MSU is going to face next season. I think I had him just behind Dante Moore for number. I think I had Dante Moore number one. I think I had Dante Moore Oregon number one, then Carr in a close second for the quarterbacks on MSU schedule. And again, you're getting them week 3. I think before Notre Dame plays MSU, I think they play Wisconsin week 1. That might be in Green Bay as well, if I'm remembering correctly. And then they play Rice week 2. So again, going to be a huge game for Michigan State moving forward. But kind of just as juicy, probably more juicy because we already knew Notre Dame was on the schedule. This is just the kickoff time. I'm just kind of rehashing some thoughts on it here. We have 2 new home and homes on the books for Michigan State. Way a little bit down the line, you're probably, unless you have a dentist appointment for super far down in the future, your calendar's probably free that day. Who goes to the dentist on the weekends, anyways? I don't even know if those are open. I don't know what I'm saying. But news drops. MSU formally announced that they are going to have a pair of home and home series against 2 Big 12 programs. It's going to start in the 2028 season and the 2029 season. MSU is going to go play Oklahoma State on the road in 2028 and then go play, and then they're going to host them in 2029 after the Notre Dame home and home series ends when Notre Dame comes to Michigan State in 2027. Then, after Oklahoma State's done for, as far as the home and home goes, you go to Cincinnati in 2030 and then you host Cincinnati in 2031. Also on the books, way down in the future is a road game at BYU in 2032. That might, if I actually don't know this, but I'm guessing that's like the return game. MSU played BYU at home in 2016. That might be like COVID might have postponed that or something. That's what I'm guessing it was, because who would schedule 2016 and 2032 like that? But still, Cincinnati and Oklahoma State. I mean, it's interesting for on multiple fronts. Firstly, because it's rare to see Michigan State play a Big 12 program. There's been bowl games. You had that Baylor Cotton Bowl. You had TCU and like the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl. There's some others that I'm probably thinking of off that aren't at the top of my head right now. But in the regular season, it hasn't happened a Michigan State versus a Big 12 school since 2001 and 2000, when Michigan State played Missouri home and home series. And Missouri obviously is not in the Big 12 anymore. So like I didn't even bother to look further back to see the last time they kind of played a true Big 12 team that's still around. In fairness, we just talk about BYU. They played BYU in 2016. BYU was independent at that time. There was the home and home against Arizona State as well. Arizona State, of course, was in the Pac-12, which is reformed, and they're doing new things now. But a team in the Big 12 at the time, that hasn't happened since 2001. That was the regular season finale of 2001. That game was supposed to be earlier in the season, but 9/11 moved it to the end of the season in December against Missouri. It was like 55-7, a blowout. MSU got bowl eligible during that game, and again, I think they won the game at Missouri in 2000 as well. So you don't see this often. Big 12 MSU hasn't blended together a ton, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan of it. I think if you're going to schedule these out, I don't think the Big Ten isn't requiring teams to schedule a Power Four program out of conference. I think they should, because I think it's way more. First of all, it's more fun. Secondly, if you're just playing 3 throwaway games, it's like, what's the point? Like Indiana, I understand why Indiana does this now. I don't think they have like a Power Four team on their books for forever. I understand why they're doing it. I don't think it's very fun. Again, sports is fun. This is supposed to be cool, and this is going to give you matchups that you normally don't get. like Toledo, Eastern Michigan, like okay, I'm fine. Like we can replace one of those games with a game against a real team moving forward. Oklahoma State actually, I think Alabama might have. The Oklahoma State was supposed to have a home and home against Alabama. I don't know who canceled what there. Might have been Alabama because the SEC is going to nine non to nine conference games, and they have like a home and home in Ohio State coming up. So I honestly credit to Alabama if they chose Ohio State to stick with those two games. That'll be a blockbuster. But MSU came in, swooped in, got two games like that for Oklahoma State. These are two fun programs though. I like Oklahoma State's like the stadium at Oklahoma State. That's going to be a fun one to see MSU play in. It's not really drivable. You have to take a flight to go down to Stillwater, but it's a it's a pretty cool stadium. Whenever I've happened to watch Oklahoma State, I've liked what I've seen. Like I think like green on orange against each other, like that'll be a fun looking game. And again, just MSU and Oklahoma State haven't played each other before. It's the first time ever. So this is the good thing moving forward. And frankly, if you want to be a little more real, like it's good scheduling. Like you're scheduling a winnable game as well moving forward. I don't know no one knows what Oklahoma State is going to be doing like for 3-4 years from now. But they are coming out. They have that new coach. I cannot remember his name, but he came up from North Texas. I think they should miss on. I don't think they're gonna have to play Drew Mestamaker. That's good. And but Oklahoma State been struggling a little bit lately. But I mean, you don't want. I mean, if I were Jay Batt, I would want to schedule a Power Four team that's relatively on your level. Like Boston College, home and home. That's that sweet spot for me. Notre Dame's a good one because it's a rivalry. Like that's a blue blood school and everything. But like if you're scheduling Alabama, I would be like, what are you doing? If you're scheduling Georgia, I'd be like, what are you doing? Like you're just scheduling two losses basically. Schedule Oklahoma State, schedule Cincinnati, two teams that are in the vicinity of where you are or where you can realistically end up being by the time you play them. If MSU was making the college football playoff every year, I'd say go schedule Georgia, but that's not how it's going right now whatsoever. But Cincinnati will be fun too. That is drivable, about 4 or 5 hours, I believe, from East Lansing. Like fans can easily do that. It's a historical stadium. MSU has never played at Cincinnati before. There's only been two all-time meetings between those two teams. And the last meeting was back in like 46, I believe it was. And before that was 1930. So it's only your grandfather who maybe was watching it. Can you even, they probably, that game probably wasn't even televised. No one's really been able to see MSU Cincinnati as MSU Cincinnati football going on right now. Like I'm trying to talk through the Mark D'Antonio connection as well. That makes it a little more interesting, I guess. Mark D'Antonio coached Cincinnati for a handful of years before he went over to Michigan State, of course, and then had about as good of a run as anybody with the school. Oh yeah, I should also bring up they scheduled a game against Duquesne FCS school for the 2027 season. So that does wrap up the 2027 non-conference schedule. You have all three slots filled. I think every year after that does have at least one spot open for movement, but Michigan State does have at least one Power Four school already on the books for every year moving forward until the 2023 season. 20 not 2023, the 2033 season. That's the first time things are open up for maybe a new Power Four team, unless MSU like buys out that BYU game that's on the road that I previously mentioned. But 2027, you've got Central Michigan. No, Duquesne's the season opener now for 2027. That was week 1. Central Michigan is week 2, and then you host Notre Dame in week 3. All those are at home, which makes sense because it'll be MSU's. You want to structure it so you have the road games on years where you have 5 Big Ten home games to 4 road games. You want that 7-5 split because that's that right blend of, you have the revenue steadily coming in with 7 home games rather than 6. You jump to 8, you might have to have a 6-6 season, 6 road games, 6 home game season. You don't really want that. It makes it more level. But again, next season, MSU will have 4 Big Ten home games to 5 road games. So that's why you're going to see seasons where MSU, in years that are odd, it'll be 3 home non-conference games. Basically, it'll be it'll be that you have Oklahoma State coming home basically in 2029, and then you'll have, whatever. They actually don't have the Big Ten opponents set that season. So again, that'll be very, very interesting for the future. But again, football scheduling. Uh, that was kind of the news of the day. Thursday, former MSU basketball player, guard Divine Ugochukwu also committed to LSU. But I thought I'd talk more about football because that is currently impacting things in East Lansing at this very moment. But that is all for today. There will be more content coming your way very, very soon. Both written stuff will be as usual at Michigan State Spartans on SI or at SpartanNation.com. There will be more podcasting content coming very, very soon. This is our Friday edition, so you'll see me again on Monday. But yes, signing off once again, though, I'm Jacob Hatzanika. I'll see you guys around.